Cut it, please. Go on. Cut it all. Yeah, go on. Well done, guys. Beautiful. Congratulations. Sam and Kate, we're going to bring you over here, please. How are we looking, guys? Is everyone comfortable? We're going to begin our speeches now if everyone is ready. All right. How are we doing, everybody? Everybody feeling good? Everybody have a drink? Everyone appropriately sunburnt? Good. So, in case you haven't had enough of me already, that's too bad. I am here. I'll introduce myself properly with likely interjections from Kate, depending on how many wines you've had. I love you. I'm Gabe, and I first met Kate and the Robinsons as a child, actually. However, that was relatively unremarkable, so I'm just going to move straight on to the good bits. We met again working at my dad Marty's restaurant, Trevino's, and became quite unarguably the two best wait staff he's ever had the privilege of hiring. I checked that with him, by the way, he agreed. And because we worked so well together, when a room became free at Tothril Street, I jumped at the chance and moved in for 2 years, where we also became, unarguably, Anitra's two best tenants she's ever had the privilege of leasing to. Sorry about the Hobbs. I think that was a party I had. Sorry about that. They honestly were two of the best and blurriest years I've had. The endless games of Twister, countless vodka Red Bulls, summer barbecue days and winter Disney nights. I've never met someone who naps more in my life. We've stayed incredible friends, and when I moved to London, Kate was one of my very first visitors, fulfilling her promise of chocolate, drinks and laughs in exchange for some quite questionable London flatting accommodation on my behalf. Kate came back to visit London again a year later, and this was full of just as many good times in Kate's head. Anyone who knows Kate well knows she's not great at holding an in-person conversation while also having probably a very different type of conversation on her phone. Kate, who are you texting? Kate replies, oh, this guy I've met at school, he's really great, but we're just chatting. Insert secret smile. My reply was just to cross off the boxes. Kate, you mean someone who works at the school, right? Absolutely. Although Kate still got the younger guy, well done, my friend. I knew throughout this trip I had with the top of Kate's head and her unlistening silence to my hilarious jokes that Sam was going to be someone pretty amazing in her life. Sam, I've sadly only had a few occasions to get to know you, but thank you for making Kate so happy and for truly complimenting her life and knowing full well the type of wonderful woman she is. I'm assuming at this stage you've completed the How to Be a Strong Independent Course 101 and passed the Female Empowerment and Consequences exam with flying colours. Good, okay. We're all so happy to be here with you to enjoy your day and celebrate you both. You look amazing. Now to move on to more entertaining speeches, we're going to hear some words from some very important people to the bride and groom. Starting with the father of the bride, Lee.
Thank you, Gabe. We do know that you're Marty's daughter. Well done. Former president of the Hotel Association, and Marty can talk. Guys, this is lovely to see you all, and I'd just like to welcome all of you on behalf of both families. Brent and Brownie, as you'd rather be called, Julie, Sam's parents, Pete and Leitra, Marion, Janet and Tim, Eloise and Coast, and of course, a couple of the night, Kate and Sam. I'm sure I speak for everyone in acknowledging that it is the ultimate pleasure to be involved in celebrating and sharing the marriage of one of your daughters, surrounded by family friends, and of course by Kate and Sam's friends and supporters. Sam, you've been around for a little while, old boy, and it's been a pleasure to have you in our midst. You first appeared through Kate's and your good work at 180 Degrees School, and you have been a solid and responsible sounding board since that day one. You achieved the highest exemplary standards in your police qualifications, getting the top ticket on your graduation, and by all accounts, your reputation in Christchurch and now Kaipoi and your role as a police constable is growing with the responsibility with which you address your work. Your commitment and values are such, Sam, that you will do it well, you will do it professionally, and you will progress, I'm sure, to much higher honours within that environment. It is not insignificant that your sensible and measured approach to life is reflected in the job that you've taken on as your chosen career. And we know you will progress superbly in that area, and we wish you the best in that regard. I'm sure that the disciplines that surround your work complement your existing attributes, Sam, and you will be a loving husband and very good dad. If I'm not preempting anything. We also admire and respect your recreational pursuits, particularly your love of outdoors, of hunting, of fishing and other associated interests. You have indeed a healthy approach to life with a great balance of work and recreational activity. I do need to regale your rather nervous approach to me, you poor bugger, when you wished to announce that you were to take Kate as your spouse. I happened to be working in the pool house in the winter of 2018 and had a call from you, Lee, can I come and see you? To which I said, yeah, where are you? What time will you be here? Oh, I'm in your driveway. That's good, I said, just pop in. I'm at the back of the house. Sam, hi Lee, look, I'm just off. I'm going to buy Kate a ring. I'm off to the jeweller and I thought I'd just like to tell you that we're getting married. I said, Sam, this is great. Look, congratulations, let's have a coffee. No, look, I've got to get to the jeweller. Oh no, he was there for about 23 seconds and he was gone. But look, it was great. It was a great delivery. You did the right thing, and the important thing is that was preemptive where we are here today, old boy. So not an easy job. Kate, this is going to take a wee bit. Never one for the stereotype. Role reversals have always been important to you. You've always been vehement about this. And the best classification I can make of you is that you're really men a plate, woman a bottle sort of girl. But you've always been well-grounded and responsible. I cannot believe the lack of trouble, I think, that we've had from all of you girls over the years, and I appreciate that we probably know a smidgen of what might have gone on from time to time, but we've indeed been blessed by all of you. Your initial resolve to become involved in the teaching profession provided ample evidence of your care of young people and their well-being. And that was no better reflected in your role within the 180 Degree School, for which you achieved so many good outcomes for people much less fortunate than all of us. Those in authority at that school will speak not only of your care, but of the respect that you commanded from difficult people in a difficult environment. I know personally the comments that have been received from those in charge and from your teaching colleagues alike and it is also clear that this has stood you in good stead for what you're now achieving at Papanui High. Keep it up, Kate. Your tenacity and your enthusiastic approach to life is healthy, it's well respected, and we admire you and are proud of you for it. In every respect, I think the overriding quality that you exhibit is one of kindness, care, and concern. In your early days, when we used to do a lot of fishing in Akaroa, you'd catch the fish, take it off the hook, kiss it, and throw it back. It was not for termination or consumption at all. But this care and kindness comes not only from your generosity of spirit, but a genuine resolve to put everything else before your own interests. Further, Kate, the tenaciousness which I speak of, you have an extraordinary mind for detail and organisation. And everything here today is an example of what you have achieved with Sam to make all this possible. You have an absolute resolve to get the job done, almost obsessively so, and that absolutely, Kate, is a quality that you will take forward. I need to give a couple of examples about the run sheet. 7 pages of fine detail. Duties and directions to bar staff, the matron of honour, the MC and others with various roles to play. For example, bar staff run sheet, 2:30 p.m. Please put Deutsch champagne into glasses to prepare the end of the ceremony. Roughly 50 guests, glasses, close brackets. Guests can have whatever they like and can order from bar. Please collect empties, see alcohol list for drinks available. Bar staff run sheet 2:45. Ceremony finishes. People to order first drinks from bar, please collect empties and put them in the big green bins beside the container. Please only put bottles in the bins provided. Rubbish tins are behind the bar. Nightcaps at 9:30, this is still to come. Please, 10 now, 10. Please set up glasses, etc. on the container bay outside. We need 50 plus glasses, ice bucket, 5 by gin bottles, 5 by whiskey bottles, 1 by bourbon bottle, and soda water is Coke. Coke Zero is lemonade. As you will see, nothing has been left to chance. But look, tonight is not simply a delivery of platitudes to you both, but to recognise how well you've both done, and we wish you all the best for your future years together. And in doing so, we will in a moment raise our glasses. Inevitably, we are very proud of your achievements, both of you, and the opportunities that you've taken that have presented themselves to you. You'll have your challenges in life, and they will not always be easy. But I now speak for all of you in saying that you're well equipped to deal with what life will throw at you, and we are very relaxed and confident about your ability to confront life with all of its challenges. And just as an aside, but as an important one for our family, we have traditionally in the past in these sorts of events, and we'll do so again today, to pay respect for absent friends. And I refer, of course, to Nicola, Tim's sister Amelia, my sister Denise, close friend Nicholas Young, departed grandparents and other family members and friends of influence. I simply wish to acknowledge them, sadly but with respect, and as part of this service and part of what is a significant family and friends gathering here today. It remains to me to say, as one of the host parents, to emphasise to you both to enjoy yourselves, grasp the prospects, goodwill and happiness that married life will bring you both, and simply enjoy this weekend and make the most of this occasion. And no, Kate, you don't need to get up tomorrow at 8 o'clock and come here and get rid of the empties. Sam, this is totally inappropriate, but I'll say that if anything is going to retain her in her hotel room, this might have to be it. I think you need to tie her up, and we'll see you not before midday at Deans Avenue. I'll hand back to Gabe. Thank you, guys. Lovely occasion.
Thank you, Lee. That was beautiful words. And can I just confirm, Kate, I am so thankful for your run sheet today. My brain works the same way. All right, next up, we're going to hear from Mother of the Bride, Anitra, sister of the bride, Jana, and an absentee, a twin sister of the bride, Eloise. Thank you. Is that where we walk through? Thank you.
This is actually a letter from Eloise to Sam and Kate. She says, first of all, congratulations to Kate and Sam on becoming husband and wife. So sad not to be there, but I know, can you hear? Yeah. I know you will be hanging out to get to that dance floor, Kate, so I'll make it short. Kate, you are the best twinny, sister and friend anybody could ever ask for. You are so loyal, kind and caring. I'm so lucky to have you, and thank you for all your support with Mo and Nico over the last 2 years. I really appreciate it. You deserve the best day and for it to be about you and Sam. Many people describe being a twin as having telepathic powers. I don't consider this us, especially when we play code names, and I have no idea where your random thoughts and movie quotes come from, although thoroughly enjoyable. However, we're definitely on the same page when it comes to important things, like how much more important teaching the humans of tomorrow is compared to the law profession. Dig, dig. Double dig. As many of you will remember, Kate took hard and fast to feminism in her early uni days. She loved to remind our guy friends of their assumptions about girls based on patriarchy. I really didn't appreciate feminism enough until I had kids myself. I respect Kate for not being afraid to share her passionate views in support of women. I've always admired Kate's ability to cut through the bullshit and tell it like it is. Since meeting Sam, Kate has found someone to take 50% of the household load, for which we appreciate. Sam has introduced Kate to hunting and outdoor things that she has really come to love. Kate, in return, has introduced Sam to our passionate and opinionated family, for which I'm sure he is always grateful. Your shared interests, support and loyalty for and to each other reminds me of these words from Gloria Steinman. Being married is like having somebody permanently in your corner. It feels limitless, not limited. I can't wait to see what the future holds for you both. Love you guys. Have a great night. Eloise.
Eloise mentioned Kate's belief in equality for women, and that has and continues to be an integral part of her values. Kate, as a child and as a teenager, was a tomboy. She played lots of sports, including cricket, and always dressed in trackies and 90s exercise gear. This has continued to this day, as she frequently turns up in her leisure wear, although now she brings a certain feminine aspect to it with more figure-hugging attire. Kate did have a phase where she was not so focused on feminism. I can't remember exactly what age, but she became very interested in the singer Usher. The interest quickly turned to an obsession. As a household, we were all subjected to hours of Usher music and his music videos. If that wasn't enough, she even started dancing like him, which is definitely not in the spirit of feminism if anyone's seen Usher's music videos. All of this reached a peak about a year after she found Usher, and then she found out that Usher cheated on his partner. And her interest in feminism was reignited and Usher was out the window. She also was pretty obsessed with Michael Jackson, but we all know how that ended. The other defining feature of Kate is her pathological fear of sharks. There are many examples of this, and a number of you would have seen it firsthand. The best example of how deep her fear runs is when we were in Cairns as children, and we stayed at a resort with a pool. Kate refused to get in because she was scared that there were sharks in the deep end and that they would attack her when she swam past halfway. Also, on her trip to Hawaii as a teenager, she refused to get in the water to go snorkeling because she was convinced once in there she would turn around and a shark would be sitting there waiting for her. She said once she turned around, the shark would then eat her. Needless to say, our family holidays involving biscuiting and water skiing were not relaxing or fun for Kate, and it would take a lot of force and pressure to get her into the water. Any spectators could hear Kate's obscenities being shouted at Dad as he whizzed her around on the biscuit. To be fair, that may have been more linked to Dad's determination to throw her off the biscuit at every opportunity. All I can say is I hope the honeymoon isn't near water. All in all, Sam, you've got a few idiosyncrasies of Kate's to work through during your lifetime together. But these are things we all love about Kate, as I know you do. In terms of a partner for Kate, we couldn't have dreamed of anyone more perfect. You are her opposite in many ways, and yet you both share the same values. I know from Kate that these ensure your partnership is one of mutual respect, love, support, and of course, equality. I look forward to watching you continue to build an amazing life together. Kate, you're an incredible sister, friend, and partner. You are the most loving and generous person and so calm and considered most of the time. You are a rock, always reliable and steady. Your help for Tim and I over the last few months has been huge, including helping me through the night with Chester, sorting out and unpacking our entire house, washing dishes, lactation cookies, and any other thing that needed doing. Chester is the luckiest boy around to have you and Eloise as aunties, and I know Eloise and Coast feel the same for Mo and Nico. Obviously, we're all gutted they cannot be here with us today. So if you could please raise your glasses to Kate and also to absent friends and family, particularly Eloise, Coast, Mo and Nico. Cheers.
Thank you so much, Mitra and Dana.
Well done, Grace, out of there.
Thank you so much to you both. Next up, we are hearing from Brownie, father of the groom. Please welcome him up.
Thanks. Got my glasses. It's easy, I can't see it though. Hi. That's me done actually. I don't have to say anything. We did it all pretty much all over now. You all know who I am now, so I'm Brownie. I've really struggled trying to put something together for this. Literally, I've done my two daughters, one just recently, wasn't a problem. Pretty easy to say good things about them. Sam sort of, I've struggled with him. Sam had some instructions. They had to be brief, to the point, get it over and done with, get out of it. And Kate said, for Christ's sake, don't offend anyone. So hopefully I won't. I did threaten to wear my mega hat, but it was a Secret Santa gift, but the threat of divorce was a bit tough there. I'd be sleeping around for a month. So I left that in the car. Right, Kate. Like I say, Lee's pretty much covered everything, so I could just about jump right through this. But Kate, first reports you were vague at best. You were just some chick at Sam's work that he met up with for coffees and a bit of rough and tumble, I think. Nothing too serious, he said to us. just some casual thing. And look what happened. So I'm like, yeah, good boy, good boy. Now, for God's sake. Okay. Our first meeting. I'll have to get the bit here. You were a sweet wee thing. You were 50 kgs of you when you met. But how wrong I was. I soon learned that you were an avid fisherwoman. Notice I said fisherwoman. Quite talented with rod in hand. Fiercely independent to the point of not accepting any help whatsoever. I couldn't help with anything. Can't put the bait on the hooks. Can't take the fish off. You want to do it all, which suits me fine. Any thoughts of going out fishing and leaving you behind would likely be met with a barrage of profanities and then a debate on feminism, women's rights, and a lecture on male chauvinist attitudes. Much to my amusement. Not that I would bait you or anything like that. Now, Sam was the ultimate lad's lad. Rough and tough. What? He was good at sports and he loved rugby. Excuse me. Which was good because I like rugby. He pretty much cruised along at school. He was a good boy. Did the bare minimum to get by. That's all he had to do. With regards to his rugby, he was an uncompromising, disciplined player. Clean, fair, clean, very clean, yeah. Good, fair player. A few of those traits that definitely weren't anything to do with me. Totally lacking in my department. Now, I've been lucky enough to not have only coached, sorry, I've got a runny nose, not have only coached Sam, but I've been able to play alongside him. And the last game I played with him was about 4 or 5 years ago for his club here in Christchurch, Keith. Funny name, but that's what they're called. I came out of that game bloody black and blue, battered and bruised, and no doubt half of it was inflicted by Sam. Pretty much down to Woody's coaching over here. It's what he told him to do. So it didn't matter if you were on the same team. It's the only time it wasn't fair, when I was on the paddock with him. He was a good kid. I really, honestly, I can't think of anything bad really that he did that I know about. We had a couple of visits from the cops, and on one occasion he was subjected to some good old-fashioned police work at home, up in the bedroom, taken up there, given a good old talking to, dressed down for about 20 minutes, and that cop still asks about Sam to see what he turned out into, what he's turned into, and he's like me, thinks it's pretty cool where he's got to now. We were lucky to have not had another visit from them when he got tied up playing a silly computer game. Him and his mate started playing a game called RuneScape. They worked out how to hack the computer game and managed to scam a whole heap of players out of all their armour and weapons and all that sort of stuff. And the enterprising young brothers went to school and sold it all. And made themselves plenty of money. Players and everything, no doubt. And I understand that Kate is a bit pissed at the moment because he's started playing that game again 15 years later. So anyway, Sam, as already has been mentioned, is turned into a keen hunter. He's had many trips away. Most of them sound like to me that his trips are all about taking girl and his gun for a walk, more so than trying to fill the freezer. I was on one of these trips that I met Ryan, one of the groomsmen here. Put your hand up, Ryan. Good boy. Lauren and Sam took my mate Billy over here and myself away for my 50th birthday. Yeah. We were subjected to extreme weather conditions, slopes not suitable for red bands and stubbies, and hunting a frickin' extinct animal, I'd say, because the only thing I ever saw was on the binoculars, bloody right up on top of the mountains. We need a helicopter to get there. It's supposed to be fun. Yeah, lucky. We packed plenty of whiskey, so we were good. As for these guys, they seem to enjoy it. Ron did manage to bag them though. He managed to shoot a physically disabled chamois that was actually a pet at the hut. And I understand they've just recently been on a hunting trip. These guys that are all dressed the same. Sounds like me and Billy should have been on that one too, because I didn't get anything that time either. And all they did was drink a whole lot of piss. Anyway. A couple of years back, I was lucky enough to go out on the job with Sam, with the police. I had my own police radio and a day glow. I had a hell of a night impersonating a police officer, and watching him work, thought it was great fun. Something I should have done when I was young and fit, but they wouldn't have me. They wouldn't let me carry a gun or drive the car. I reckon I could have driven it just as fast as they did around the streets of Christchurch. He definitely has a special way with people. He's always calm and in control, and even to the point of being a little bit diplomatic. I reckon he's the sort of guy that could tell someone to go to hell in such a way that they'd actually enjoy the trip. Sam, I can honestly say that I think Julie and I have done a pretty good job. In fact, the truth be known, you've never really stopped impressing me. From your rugby days, your travels overseas, your work at 180 degrees, your chosen career with the police, and your choice of life partner. I'm sure there's plenty more things that you'll achieve now with Kate by your side. And it'll be even better with her there to help you fulfill them. Lee, Anitra, Marion and Pete, I'm sure you couldn't wish for a better son-in-law. Likewise, we couldn't ask for a better daughter-in-law. I know Sam will look after her, although Kate doesn't need looking after. I know that he'll be a great father to the kids. Hopefully you'll start that soon. It'll be fun. Sam, I've never been more proud of you. You're a great mate, and I wish you and Kate the very best. And I don't know if it's appropriate, but I think I'd like to propose a toast to Sam and Kate.
Thank you so much, Brownie. Thank you. Wonderful. Next up is Julie, mother of the groom. Please welcome her up.
I'm afraid there's going to be a few repeats because it's already been said. Okay. Welcome and thank you for coming to share this day with Sam and Kate. I'm surprised we're actually allowed to have a speech. Sam's a pretty private and humble young man. In speeches, I know you're supposed to come out with something humorous, but Sam was a pretty chilled wee dude and didn't give us too much trouble. However, there was one time when he was about 3 when I had to add a patch to his pants groin area as he had split his pants. I did this at the same time as fixing a pair of his dad's work pants that had also split. Upon walking through the supermarket a few days later, he ran up to an old lady, thrust out his groin while hanging on to himself and declared, "Look, I've got a big one just like my daddy." And Sam was pretty determined once he set his mind to something, there was no changing it or telling me he couldn't do it. If you suggested he shouldn't or couldn't do something, he would prove you wrong, usually achieving whatever he wanted to do pretty much effortlessly and pretty damn well. Brownie and I have always said that boy could fall in a pile of shit and come out smelling roses. Nothing ever fazed him or overly worried him. So when he found himself at a loose end after his studies in Wellington, and he decided to hitchhike across Canada in the middle of their winter, I knew there was no stopping him. Off he set with very little money, no known contacts and no set plans. Every mother's worst fears. Well, he tackled that year like he's tackled every other challenge in life. He cruised from place to place, couch surfing along the way from one coast of Canada to the other, sometimes in minus 40 degrees. He made many friends along the way and probably even broke a few hearts. We didn't have a lot of contact with him during that year as he had to rely on places where he could find Wi-Fi. So imagine my excitement when I received my one and only postcard from him. It read, "Dear Mum and Dad, it's cold, love your son." Typical Sam in a few words. Luckily, during Sam's travels, he had the foresight not to mention to me until after he had hitchhiked his way through the Highway of Tears, a notorious stretch of road where at least 20 tourists and locals have gone missing, presumed murdered over the past years. I believe one of his car rides when he got picked up, he even got given a hatchet to keep on him for protection. So glad I didn't know all of this until a later date. When Sam returned a year later, he came home about 20 kilos lighter and with the same amount of cash he left with, and had not forked out for one night's accommodation for the whole trip. Just goes to show what a cute Kiwi boy and a little dumpster diving can do to get you through. Now, as usual, when Sam came home and decided he needed a job, he jumped on Trade Me and noticed a job advertised at 180 Degrees where Kate worked. The position had closed, but in typical Sam style, he still applied, got a late interview and landed the job, no sweat. Now, apparently Kate was part of the interview process, and I hear she wasn't overly impressed with his cocky rugby meathead and classed him as a typical player. Or certainly something changed her mind. Could have been all those coffee dates. When we first got to know Kate, she came across as this petite, sweet, quiet young lady, and we were rather impressed. As usual, we thought Sam's fallen on his feet meeting her. And then we attended a family barbecue for the twins' birthday. And after a skinful of whiskey, we got to meet the sassy, swear like a trooper Kate. Kate has slotted into our family like she's always been a part of us, and we love her to bits. She's always the first one getting stuck in to clean and gut the fish, prepare the tea, always making sure everyone is well taken care of and that the bench is left tidy and wiped down 1,000 times. We could not have picked a better life partner for Sam if we'd tried. They bounce off each other, they keep each other held accountable, and she doesn't let him away with too much. She's fiercely independent and incredibly caring and devoted to all those around her, and they clearly adore each other. Lee, Marion, Anitra and Pete, you've all raised an exceptionally special young lady, and we are blessed and proud to have her joining our family. So, from the day you were born to watching you grow up, attending your graduations, this paper's not playing game, especially the one from the police college where you kept me in the dark about achieving top of the wing, to today at your wedding. We couldn't be more prouder of the man you have become, and we wish you and Kate a long and happy life together, and of course, a couple of kids.
Thank you so much, Julie. That was very sweet. All right, now we're going to get down to the scandal. Claire and Lenore, close friends of the bride, please come up. Just Lenore. Okay, just Lenore. Please welcome her up, guys. Thank you.
Hey guys. So I'm Lenore. I know most of you, but for those of you who don't know me, I went to university with Kate. And this is just a little wee spiel that we've put together, a bunch of our friends from uni. Here we go. Girl power and feminism. A topic likely to be covered several times tonight, as obviously has already happened. When there's even the slightest hint of a gender-based conversation, we all know who will be front and centre. Kate doesn't shy away from debates and wholeheartedly sticks to what she believes in. Sam no doubt has encountered these conversations regularly, and I wouldn't be surprised if the line, "Women can do that too," and "You don't need a man to do that," was heard on this first day working with Kate at 180. It's been reassuring to see that Sam can hold his ground in these conversations and knows when to keep quiet. Not many people know when to back down. Kate was known at Teachers College for always being the strong, independent woman that is always keen to stand up for all the other girls. Depending on the day, if you were a male and you had an opinion about what role a female should play in any aspect of life, you were likely to be sent home with your tail between your legs. We'd often end up playing fun games at Teachers College in our downtime, often competing on the sports field or in the gym. I would happily put my money on Kate to be the last one standing. No man will ever have an easy run against her, but they sure like spinning out their chauvinistic comments purely just to get Kate fired up and watch her rage. If you want to have a fun conversation with Kate about marriage and tradition, just try talking to her about changing her last name. I watched these two go around in circles for months on this topic, and I guess you know who won that. After living with Kate for a few years, it was easy to know what her interests and hobbies were: food, her pets, sports and exercise, and more food. The day I knew Sam meant something more to Kate was when she suddenly had a new interest in fishing. I'd never once heard Kate mention hunting or fishing before, but now all of a sudden she's a big fan. So, as any good friends would do, we carefully observed Sam to make sure he wasn't lazy or crazy and could handle all of Kate's special qualities. Congratulations, Sam, you only just passed. Only because you graduated from police college. They did all the vetting for us. Kate is undeniably loyal and kind, to which most of you in this room will already know. However, there is one particular incident that questioned these characteristics. On an outing with friends, we discovered that Kate has no boundaries when it comes to other people's plates and eating their food. We've learned to never leave the table to pee while Kate is sitting close by. Many of you know she isn't like most women. She doesn't subscribe to fad diets and has no interest in limiting her food intake. In fact, she's mildly offended if you try to offer her a vegetarian meal, or if anyone would sometimes leave just a small mouthful left of food on their plate. She'll quietly eye it up and wait for the right moment to see if you intend on finishing it. You know a meal was just right when she lets out one of her unashamed signature burps. Most males would be shocked, but I think Sam is secretly proud. When Sam heads out on hunting trips, he would often return home with a truck full of fresh venison. Oh, unlike Brownie thinks. Kate's eyes instantly light up. I'm not sure if she's happy to see Sam again after a few days apart, or if she's excited at the prospect of a freezer full of full meat. Good to know that Sam will be able to provide for her for years to come. On a serious note, you are the most generous and patient person I know. You are always thinking of other people and will always be the first to show up in a time of need. Everyone here will know that these two both operate well together. They have the most robotic, well-trained dog in Christchurch, and have an awesome home which never has a shoe out of place. To quote Sam, we easily have the best house on the street. I'll give you that one. He's usually a modest person, but has no reservations exhibited when it comes to comes to what they have worked hard for. He doesn't often say much, but when he does, he's usually right. Sorry, Kate. Sam has done well to adhere to Kate's house cleaning standards. Again, to quote Sam, I spend more time folding the bloody towel after my shower than I spend in the actual shower. It seems like you two will get along just fine as long as you continue to fold them just so. Someone who is willing to spend that much attention to detail must definitely be a keeper. Over the years, I've seen Sam show that he is as kind and caring as Kate and is an equally as good a listener, always showing that he will do whatever he can to make Kate happy. With Kate, you'll always have a fun time, whether it be dancing, which generally involves clearing the whole dance floor, singing, screaming 90s hits to the top of your lungs, watching movie after movie, repeating quote after quote, cups of tea, nightcaps, embracing the sad times and moments of hilarity to which you cannot breathe from too much laughter. These are just some of the precious qualities that Kate brings with her, and we are pleased that she has found someone like you, Sam, to share this with. We could not have asked for anyone more deserving of our beautiful friend. We hope that you have every success together and continue to grow, support, and hold each other through thick and thin. Here's to a lifetime of Mr. and Mrs. Brown. Mrs. Robinson.
Thank you so much, Lenore. All right, Ryan, best man, come on up. Be gentle-ish.
There's a couple. Before I start, just in my defence, I'm pretty sure that Shemi wasn't a pet. It was physically disabled though, so I'll take that one. When Sam asked me to be the best man at his wedding, and asked the other guys to be part of his bridal party, I must admit that the first thing I thought was a thought of terror because I'd have to stand up here and speak in front of people. So I've got a few notes here to spare you from my rambling. I'm not much of a speaker in front of people, and some people might say I'm not much of a speaker, full stop. So I spent weeks and weeks at home looking at YouTube and seeing what I had to do as a best man, and basically it said I had to stand up here and tell everyone funny stories about Sam. But to be honest, Sam, we even the boys we were talking about today, we don't really have any great stories about you. You've been pretty boring. So I met Sam through, I suppose, our mutual love of the outdoors and hunting and everything like that, and like most relationships these days, it started on the internet. So we jacked up a hunting trip together. And I mean, ever since then, I've honestly enjoyed every single moment that I've spent with you, Sam. We don't spend a lot of time together, but I think often as adults, you begin to respect and really appreciate the people that truly are your friends, and you don't need to spend time together all the time. So every time we managed to put something together, I've really enjoyed it, and I thank you for introducing me to Tony and Bravo too, which I think that I hope we'll continue to be good friends. into the future. As young fellas, I think back like a lot of my friends that I have these days have come, you grow up with them, and you sort of get thrown into those friendships. But we've made a decision, like a conscious decision, as grown men to their friends, I suppose. So I suppose that's a good thing. As said, as Brownie alluded to, we've had some really good times together. I've enjoyed meeting your dad, and I look forward to meeting more of your family and your friends and stuff as we go on, as the years go by. It might take a while, as you know, it takes me a while to get up here sometimes. I'm not the best at organising things. One thing about you, Sam, despite being younger than me, I really respect all the decisions you make. You've always been the person that said, I'm going to go do something, and you've gone and done it. And that's possibly a wee bit in contrast to me. I'm a bit not quite as organised or structured as you are sometimes, but maybe that's where we sort of managed to find a nice middle ground, and yeah, I think that the decision you've made to spend the rest of your life together with Kate will just be another one of those decisions that's going to work out for you, and that's about all I've really got to say, other than just thanking everyone for coming today. I think other people have thanked everyone, but thanks to all the people in the bridal party and all the friends and family and everyone that turned up. And yeah, that's me.
Have a cuddle. You can sit down now. Thank you, Ryan. All right. Lastly, and most importantly, we're about to hear from the bride and the groom. Going to get up together and speak together. Sam, I believe you're up first. Everybody welcome our bride and groom, please.
It's really big font because my size is shit. Ready to rumble? To start with, I would like to welcome you all to our special day and thank you all for coming. We're thrilled to have so many of our family and close friends surrounding us today. I know some of you have travelled a long way to be here, and for that, Kate and I are both honoured. I can honestly say it wouldn't be the same without all of you being here today, although it would have been a lot less stressful making this speech out to an empty room. Unfortunately, though, there's a few people that couldn't be with us today. Kate's twin, obviously, Louise, and her husband, Coast, and their two beautiful children, Mo and Nico, and obviously Kate's past sister, Nicola. So we're sorry you guys couldn't make it, but we know you guys are here with us in spirit. I'd personally like to start off thanking Katie's parents, Lee and Anitra, wherever Anitra is over there. Thank you for raising a beautiful, caring, thoughtful, on a good day intelligent, on most other days stubborn daughter, and of course for letting me have her hand in marriage. Thank you also for welcoming me into your family. From the very start of my relationship with Katie, you've always invited me to family gatherings, birthdays, Christmases, Overdaka, or any other social gathering that calls for a gin. I do regret more often than not, my response has probably been sorry, I'll be working, but I appreciate the thought. Mum and Dad, I want to thank you for always being there with me, with unconditional love and support. You've allowed me to make my own decisions in life and been there ready to pick up the pieces if it all falls apart. I appreciate everything you have done for me, and I love you both very much. From the moment I introduced Katie to you, you've always made her feel so welcome. She's always felt included, and you've treated her like one of the family. For that, we're both grateful. Katie's bridesmaids, Jenna and Claire, wherever you are. Claire's over there, Jenna's over there. I'm sure everybody would agree that you both look absolutely stunning today. If nothing else, you've drastically raised the average attractiveness of the wedding party. I want to thank you both for all the support you've given Katie and to making sure she has a wonderful wedding day. A special thank you in particular to Claire for throwing her a fantastic hen party. She was so happy with everything that you prepared and she repeatedly told me about how it was the most perfect day ever. Brian, thank you for taking on the role of being my best man and standing by my side today. You right?
It's sounding more and more like a relationship.
We haven't had a lot to do with each other over the last few years due to life getting in the way. But I appreciate the genuine friendship and support you offer. So can everybody please raise their glass to toast family, friends, and absent loved ones. Of course, I'm saving the best till last. Katie, you're so beautiful. Where do I begin to say how much I love you and how happy I am I can now call you my wife? Writing this was truly easy because I switched off my brain, which doesn't take a lot, and let my heart do the talking. Although I'll admit, you sitting on the floor jamming out to 90s beats at full volume beside me while I tried to write this did make it a little bit challenging. It's just big text. I tried hard to put into words how I feel about Katie. What I end up with was a disorganised list of observations about her. These were meant to be embellished into cute little anecdotes about why I love her, but it's turned into a series of random thoughts. She exercises like a madwoman. Everything is a competition, and she hates losing. She hates it when I don't listen, which, judging by some of the disapproving looks she gives me, is most of the time. She can't go more than 30 minutes without checking whether the bench is clean. She absolutely loves food and gets hangry if she's not fed every 2 hours. She's super organised. She even goes so far as arranging the magazines on the coffee table in such a way so that they look messy when in actual fact they're fanned out in just the perfect amount to look stylish. If she could, she'd nap for 18 hours of the day. She loves our dog Girl, even though Girl prefers me to her. She consistently goes out of her way to help people without ever expecting anything in return. She is the kindest person I've ever met, and people tend to like her more than they like me, which seems fair. Katie has worked so hard and put so much effort into making today possible. She has organised and arranged things I would have never even considered. You've done an amazing job, Katie, and I hope this day is everything you hoped for. Katie, you are the kindest, most thoughtful and selfless person I've ever met. You're definitely not afraid to say what you think and stand up for the people you care about. You speak your heart and mind, you're honest, and you always know how to light up a room and make everybody laugh and smile. In writing this speech, I did a little bit of Googling. One of the things I came across was this quote. They say, "Don't marry somebody you can live with, marry the person you can't live without." Well, Katie, that's you. I love you. So I'd like everybody to raise their glass and toast my beautiful wife. To Kate.
I feel a little bit bad because my speech is kind of a really short summary of everything. I did really want to acknowledge, I know there's been lots of thank yous, but I guess when it comes to setting up and doing something like this, you really value the help around you and the people who make an effort to be here today. So I would really like to thank people who travelled here as well to be with us. We have guests from Whangarei, Auckland, Hastings, Napier, Wellington, Nelson, Blenheim, Gore-ish, and Invercargill. I'm really sorry if I've forgotten. My geography is a little bit terrible. Thanks to Sam's family who have made the trip down for this. I'm grateful to those people that helped with the setup for today. Mum and Dad, Lenore, Britt and Jeff. Lisa and Gabe for doing all the beautiful table decorations. Kelly, thank you so much for everything that you have done. I'd like to thank Jenna and Claire for all their support as bridesmaids. Claire has also made our beautiful cake. Her cake company, we shout out, is Snowdrop Cakes. And she works incredibly hard on her cakes to make sure they taste and look amazing. It's also her birthday tomorrow. So I feel a bit terrible for stealing 3 days, including one of them being her birthday. Jenna for still being part of the wedding prep even after giving birth 4.5 weeks ago. I'm doing multiple toasts, by the way, so you're going to have plenty of drinks. Can we please raise a glass for Jenna and Claire? To the groomsmen, Ryan, Tony and Bravo, thanks for making sure that Sam goes hunting, even though I always want to come with you and not be left behind. Being in the police doesn't give Sam enough time to do the outdoor activities that he enjoys. Although the last trip was a questionable hunting trip, I know that Sam values going out with you guys. Bravo, please stay away from the older ladies tonight. I almost missed it out too, so I'm so glad I didn't. To Gabe, our beautiful MC, who has done such an amazing job. Thank you so much. Gabe and I made a promise to each other about 15-ish years ago while we were out drinking that we would be each other's MCs. It's pretty special that we can fulfill those promises so many years later. We've been living on the other side of the world from each other for under 10 years, and it's still just as much fun every time we see each other. For those that can't be here from my family, Wes, Kos, Moi, Nico in Japan, I really wish you could be here. Moi would have been the most gorgeous / sassiest flower girl, but her and girl walking down the aisle together would have been the cutest team. I feel like they would have got all the attention, which would have been great. To Weezy, my woomie, okay, WOMBIE, she was my woommate and my roommate. I realise you can't see my spelling, so I thought I'd spell that for you. I miss you heaps, and I'm so sad that you couldn't make it back for our wedding, but you'll come home soon with your beautiful family. To Nicola, I wish you could also be here with us. Life would have been a lot different if you were around. I promise to always have a toast on your birthday and anniversary and make sure that our children know all about you. Mum and Dad, thanks for everything you have done and continue to do for us. I really appreciate and acknowledge the huge number of opportunities that you both have given me growing up. I'm aware of just how fortunate and how lucky I am. I also see the value of hard work, and I get this from both of you. I know I wasn't always grateful and did not see the value in some of the things you did for us, like when Dad would throw me in the water after I refused to go skiing. The only one piece of ammo I had was that I knew he was too far away to stop me from swearing at him from the water because I was afraid of sharks. I also didn't see the value of Dad making it a goal to get Eloise and I at least 20 feet in the air with the biscuit, so when we hit the water, we'd be so winded that we could not hurl any more abuse at him. The stories may change depending on who you talk to. Julie and Brownie, thank you so much for your support and love you have given us. You have both contributed massively to today. Julie did all the flowers and organised all the decorations and everything that comes with it. What I'm most thankful for, though, is the way that Sam has turned out. Based on what he says about high school, I think that if we had met there, All my friends and family know that I spent most of my school and uni years arguing with men, or boys actually. That I have a negative view of males. I just like to think I haven't met one that would disprove my arguments and my theories. Sam, this is the only time you'll ever hear me say this. You've proved me wrong.
Thank you so much, Brian and Groom, Sam and Kate. Can we just give them another round of applause? That was amazing. And that's the formal part of the night and concluded, ladies and gentlemen. The rest of the evening is to be solely situated on the dance floor as firmly instructed by Kate. Cake and dessert will be available shortly over here. And at 10 p.m. this evening, there'll be nightcaps in the form of whiskey, gin, if there's any left, and bourbon. Buses will be available from 10:30 p.m. onwards to take you back to town, with the last bus leaving at 11:15 tonight. For now, I'm going to knock back a bubbles with the boys, but you'll hear from me again when the buses arrive. Until then, let's enjoy the night and get the party started. Thank you very much, everybody.